প্ৰিয় শিক্ষাৰ্থীসকল, কৃষ্ণকান্ত সন্দিকৈ ৰাজ্যিক মুক্ত বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ৰ বিদ্যায়তনিক দৃশ্য শ্ৰাব্য অনুষ্ঠানটিলৈ আপোনালোকক স্বাগতম জনাইছো। স্বয়ং প্ৰভা DTH চেনেল 20ৰ যোগেদি শিক্ষাৰ্থীসকলৰ অধ্যয়ন কাৰ্য অধিক মনোগ্ৰাহী আৰু ফলপ্ৰসূ হোৱালৈ লক্ষ্য ৰাখি বিভিন্ন বিষয় সামৰি আমাৰ এই বিদ্যায়তনিক অনুষ্ঠানটি সজোৱা হৈছে। আহকচোন প্ৰিয় দৰ্শকসকল, আমাৰ আজিৰ খণ্ডটিৰ মাজলৈ আগবাঢ়ো।
Welcome, dear learners, to yet another video on the topic Human Resource Management. My name is Chayanika Senapati from the discipline of Maniram Devan School of Management, Krishnakanta Hondiko State Open University. So this topic has been divided into two video parts. So let us now discuss what we are going to discuss in this video and also in the second part of the video. So after going through both the videos, you will be able to describe the concept of human resource management, outline the evolution of human resource management, elaborate on the functions of human resource management. We'll also discuss about the role of HR executives in an organization, and also lastly we'll discuss about and explain the challenges of human resource management. So human resource management is a management function involving procurement of suitable human resources, train and develop their competencies, motivate them, reward them effectively, and create an urge in them to be a part of the management team whose aim should be rendered dedicated, committed service for the success and growth of the organization. This is the first video on the topic human resource management, and in this video we'll discuss, as I have already said, about the importance of human resource management for an organization as well as the evolution of human resource management. Let us first discuss about the concept of human resource management. We know that people are the vital element in an organization. Without them, an organization cannot be run. They are known as a human resource, which mean an asset or wealth that can be drawn upon for aid as and when required. Human resources are the source of strength, ability, competence, skill, creativity, knowledge, values, talent, efficiency. They have the decision-making power and enthusiasm, and so forth. These qualities of human resource should be developed so that they can be effectively utilized for accomplishment of organizational, individual, and societal objectives. Human resource management means managing people, and it includes human resource planning, job analysis, job design, acquisition, training and development, compensation and benefits, and so forth. Right placement of people in the right job is very essential for an organization, for also the human resource manager. So because it views people as a vital social capital, and moreover, human resource management emphasizes the development and maintenance of employee of an organization, as well as provides an ample of opportunities for their career advancement along with their timely counseling. So dear learners, let us now discuss about the evolution of human resource management. There is a close relationship between human resource management and depth of management as a whole. Although the concept of human resource management is new, but its practice has been quite old. In India, the emergence of human resource management can be traced back in the year 1920s with the introduction of the concept of labor welfare in the factories in India. Now let us discuss briefly about the history of evolution of human resource management. First, here we have to talk about the trade union movement era. The Trade Union Act 1926 was passed, and workers started associating themselves with the trade unions to safeguard and protect their rights. Next is the social responsibility era. During the 20th century, the outlook towards the workers changed, and they are not treated as mere money-generating resources, but as a humanistic approach was shown towards the workers. Then let us discuss about the scientific management era. Here, Frederick Winslow Taylor was the father of scientific management and introduced the concept of scientific management in the United States of America early in the 20th century. Taylor developed some principles of scientific management, which can be jotted out here are the development and use of scientific methods in setting work standards, determining a fair day's work and the best way of doing work. Then scientific selection and placement of workers, best suited to perform the various tasks and provision for their training and development. Then time study to analyze and measure the time taken in doing the various elements of a job. Then motion study, which involves close observation of the movements required to perform a job. Then the standardization of tools, equipments and machinery and working conditions. Then incentive wages plan with differential piece rates of wages for efficient and inefficient workers. Then let us discuss about the human relations era. During the 1920s and the 1930s, many researchers felt that human resource management should be recognized the workers as a human being, having their feelings, attitudes and needs. This era is marked by the contribution of Elton Mayo and his associates for his famous experiments at the Hawthorne plant, which took place in the year 1924 to 1932 of the Western Electric Company in the USA. Their major findings were physical environment at the workplace do not have any material impact on the efficiency of the worker. Then favorable attitudes of the workers and work team towards their work were more important factors. Then employee groups based on social interaction and common interest exercise a strong influence on workers' performance. Then workers cannot be motivated solely by the economic reward only. More important motivators are job security, job recognition, then right to express their opinion on the matters related to them. So the human relations era viewed the modern organization as a social system. Then comes the behavioral science era. The behavioral approach to human resource management is based on the findings of intensive research carried out by the several behavioral scientists across the world. The major areas of contribution of this era are motivation, leadership, communication, organization change, organization development. These are some of the important highlights of the approach. So this era has emphasized more on the individual behavior and group behavior. The informal leadership is taken as more important than the formal leadership. Then people who does not dislike work, but the job should be made interesting enough so that it acts as a source of motivation to them. Then comes the system approach. The system approach can be defined as an organized and complex whole and assembling or then comes the system approach. This system approach is defined as an organized and complex whole or assembling or combination of things or parts forming a complex unitary whole. The parts are known as subsystems and they are interdependent, they are interrelated and interact with each other and are not static at all. This system approach consists of many subsystems, or you can say elements which are separate entities or units. All the subsystems are interrelated to one another, as I have said. Then proper and timely communication are needed to facilitate interaction between the elements, and the interaction between the elements should lead to achievement of the organizational goal. Then let us discuss the contingency approach. This approach to management is based on the assumption that there is no single best way of practicing management, which perfectly fits into all types of situations. Depending upon the situation, the way of management also differs. Therefore, this approach is called sometimes situational approach. A particular approach to management which best fits into a particular situation and yields fruitful and productive results not necessarily will yield some results in a different situation. So thus, this approach gives stress on the fact that there is no one universal way of managing in all the situations. Therefore, it is imperative for managers to analyze and analyze the things in different situations and then use the best approach for the best result. So dear learners, with this we have come to the end of this first part of the video on the topic human resource management, and in the second part of the video we'll discuss about the functions of management. We'll also discuss about the role of HR executives in an organization, and also we'll discuss about challenges of human resource management. Thank you for watching this video. Welcome dear learners to the second part of the video on the topic human resource management. My name is Chayanika Senapati and I am from the discipline of Maniram Devan School of Management, Krishnakanta Hundiko State Open University. In this part of the video session, we'll discuss about the functions of human resource management. We'll also discuss about the role of HR executives, and lastly, we'll discuss about the challenges of human resource management, and also we'll discuss about human resource development. So dear learners, let us now discuss about the various functions of human resource management. So on the basis of various functions which the human resource management generally undertakes, there are many functional areas that we can discuss here in this video. First is the organizational planning, development and task specialization. Organizational planning, which is a very vital point for the achievement of predetermined goals in an organization, is concerned with the division of all the tasks to be performed into manageable and efficient units, and the human resource manager should perform the planning, development and designing of an organizational structure through the fixing of the responsibility and authority of the employees for achieving the organizational objectives. Then comes the staffing and employment. The staffing process, we all know, is a flow of events which results in a continuous manning of organizational positions at all the levels, from the top management to the operative level, that is the bottom level management. So this process includes manpower planning, authorization of planning, developing sources of applicants, then evaluation of the applicants, employment decisions like selection, then offering like placement, induction, then orientation, training, transfer, maybe promotion, demotion. So all these things comes under staffing and employment. Now, training and development is also very important for the employees in an organization. However, it is a complex process and concerned with increasing the capabilities of the individual and groups so that they may contribute effectively to the attainment of organizational goals. So under this area, the training needs of the company are identified, suitable training programs are developed, then operative and executives, the employees are identified for the training and they are given with the training programs. Then let us discuss about the compensation, wage and salary administration. It is basically concerned with the process of compensation directed towards remuneration of the employees for services rendered by them and motivating them to attain the desired level of performance. The components of compensation, wage and salary may be, job evaluation through which the relative worth of the job is determined, developing and operating a suitable wage and salary program, then non-monetary incentive compensation plan have to be developed for encouraging the efficiency of the employees, then evaluating employees' performance at work through a system of performance appraisal and motivating employees by creating, good working condition. Then comes the employee service and benefits. So these are mainly concerned with the process of sustaining and maintaining the workers or the employees in the organization. which includes the policies, the techniques and procedures for the safety and health of the employees. Then employee counseling is also important. Then medical services, which includes the provision of curative and preventive medical and health improvement facilities. Then suitable policies and programs are framed and efforts are made to administer the recreational and welfare facilities. Then there should be fringe benefits and supplementary items should be made available to the employees. Then let us discuss about employee records. In employee records, complete and up-to-date information is maintained about the employee so that these records may be utilized as and when required at the time of making the transfer or promotion or giving them merit pay or sanctioning leave, etc. Then is the personal research and personal audit. This area of human resource management is mainly concerned with the systematic inquiry into any aspect of broad question of how to make a more effective an organization's personal program like recruitment, selection, development, then procedures and policies and findings submitted to the top executives, then data relating to quality, data related to wages, productivity, if there is any grievance, then absenteeism if it's there, then labor turnover, if there is strike or lockouts. Again, the personal research and in the personal audit comes the morale and attitude survey also. Now, dear learners, let us discuss about the role of HR executives. An HR executive performs all the basic functions relating to human resource, starting from recruitment till the wages and salary administration. So, an HR executive is the key member in the HR department and plays a very vital role or very important role. So some of the major roles may be recruitment, then understanding the manpower requirement of each department, then understanding the requirement and then accordingly drafting a job description, then getting it approved from the concerned department, then securing candidates that match the desired skills, then communicating the employees employment status to the applied candidates, maintaining records, updating the database of the candidates, then doing a background verification of the shortlisted candidates. Again, they are concerned with induction and onboarding, for example, giving offer letter and issuing appointment letter to the selected candidates, then communicating the policies, procedures and culture followed by the company to the employees, newly recruited employees, then introducing the new joinee to the team of and the supervisor or the manager, then introducing them with the HR policies and HR manuals and so on and so forth. They also keep records of leave and attendance, keeping a track of the attendance of the employees, filling the leave forms or keeping the track of the leaves taken. Then they are also concerned with performance management. They help the appropriate authorities in doing the performance appraisal of the employees. Then they maintain a record and track on employees' turnover and exit rate. They take necessary steps to engage and involve the staff of their work. Again, they are also engaged with the workforce management. Some of the major roles played by HR executive in HR work management would be, handling the staff properly, handling cross-cultural things, then, monitoring that there is no groupism in the organization due to which dissatisfaction arises. Also, they are, engaged with conducting exit formalities also, conducting exit interviews of the candidates, those who are resigning, trying to get proper feedback for the company and trying to, take and implement corrective measures, helping the person to be released properly, then issuing releasing letter and letter of experience. So these are the things which comes under conducting exit formalities. Again, they are also engaged with compensation and benefits, designing the salary structure or helping employees save tax by advising them on tax benefits. So these are the things that they are engaged, and human resource executives plays a very vital role in an organization. Now let us discuss some of the challenges of human resource management. First, here I'd like to mention about integrating organizational planning with human resource requirement. So organization planning must be closely integrated with human resource requirement of the organization. Attention to be given in human resource requirement and their development. Then human resource planning, which enables the management to make forecast the human resource and to design the policies for their procurement in the broader interest of the organization. Then acquisition of human resource, which includes recruitment, selection, then managing performance. Yes, organization has to make a clear way for career advancement for the talented employees as well as hardworking people in the organization. Also, the human resource should be treated with utmost care, and they should be motivated. Motivation of the employees become essential for an organization so that the organizational objectives can be achieved. Then compensation and benefits, which are that I have already discussed. It is an activity that determines salary and wage structures and other rewards and benefits to be paid to the staff of an organization. And there is also health and safety provisions is very important, and making adequate provisions for health and safety for the employees build a strong workforce. Again, human resource development and organization development. When we talk about human resource development, it is regarded as the process of increasing knowledge, competence, capacities, intelligence, talents of members of the organization or employees of the organization in particular, and all the society in general. So moreover, it builds the confidence among the members of the organization to face challenge of modernization of the technologies that are coming nowadays, and in overall human resource development, it facilitates organization development. Now, let us briefly discuss about human resource development. As I have already mentioned in my earlier slides, human resource development is regarded as the process of increasing knowledge, competence, capacities, intelligence, and talents of the members or the employees of the organization. And it builds the confidence among the members of the organization to face challenge. And in overall, human resource development facilitates, leads the organizational development. In every organization, maybe it big or small, there is a human resource department headed by a manager. And when we talk about a large organization, more specialists are employed. And when we talk about small organization, there may be one person has to perform many specialized jobs in human resource departments. So all these managers are delegated to perform the activities assigned to them by the human resource managers. The human resource department has to be continuous touch with the other departments for smooth running of the functions of organization. So dear learners, with this we have come to the end of this video. The concept of human resource management has been divided into two videos that I have said. In the first part, we discuss about the concept and evolution of human resource management, and in the second part, we discuss about the functions, the challenges of human resource management. Also, we discuss about human resource development. So, human resource, as I have already said, are the vital elements of an organization, which means an asset or wealth that can be drawn upon for aid as and when required. So dear learner, thank you so much for watching this video. We'll come up with some other videos with different concepts in human resource management.
ইমান সময় আমি স্বয়ং প্ৰভা DTH চেনেল 20 যোগে সম্প্ৰচাৰিত কৃষ্ণকান্ত সন্দিকৈ ৰাজ্যিক মুক্ত বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ৰ বিদ্যায়তনিক অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ আজিৰ খণ্ডটি উপভোগ কৰিলো। এই বিদ্যায়তনিক অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ জৰিয়তে শিক্ষাৰ্থীসকল নিশ্চয়কৈ ভালেখিনি উপকৃত হৈছে। পুনৰ আন এটি বিষয় লৈ আমি আপোনালোকৰ মাজলৈ আহিম। নমস্কাৰ।